I've been asking a question about Paul Molitor. How did he make the Baseball Hall of Fame? I started looking at his career in 1978. And I'm going to look at every season through 1998. See if I can find the answer. Ken Arzone here, Vista, California. I'm looking at Friday, May 2nd, 2025. So far, I've covered 9 seasons for Paul Molitor. 3 of those seasons, he batted over 300. His high is 322. His high in hits is 201. 1982 season. So this video will be the 10th season for Paul Molitor, 1987. And it turns out to be his best hitting season of his career. So this is a sign. Up to this point in 9 years, is Paul Molitor on the Hall of Fame track? Not really. Only 2 really good seasons. Outstanding seasons. 1979, 188 hits. In 1982, 201 hits. The rest, subpar. But in 1987, he accomplishes something very few hitters have done in baseball history. Out of 15,000 baseball players that have come through the major leagues since the 1870s up to the present, Paul Molitor's 1987 season is noteworthy in baseball history. Why? Let's get into it. 118 games. That's significant. Why? Because what he did in 118 games is phenomenal. It really is. He missed 44 games. But listen to this. 465 at-bats. 118 games. He scored 114 runs. Almost a run scored per game played. Now, the other seasons, like he had a 140-game season, he scored 93 runs. So that was like 22 more games failed to get 100 runs scored. But just in 118 games, 114 runs scored. That is really good. 164 hits. That is noteworthy. That's way more than a hit a game. But you know what he did? He had a 39-game hitting streak in 1987. And you know where that ranks among the longest hitting streaks in baseball history? Number 7 greatest hitting streak in baseball history belongs to Paul Molitor. 39-game hitting streak, 1987. Who's ahead of him? Well, Jumpin' Joe DiMaggio had 56 games in 1941. That record will never be broken. I don't care if anybody gets close. It's too hard. 56 games in a row. Number 2 was Willie Keeler back in the 1890s. Had a 45-game hitting streak. 3, Pete Rose, 44 games, 1978. That was news across the country when Pete Rose was getting a hit. 44 games in a row. And then his 45th game, couldn't do it. Struck out his last time at bat. Went 0 for 4. Bill Dalian. You ever hear of him? I haven't. 1894, hitting 42 straight games. George Sisler, 1922, 41 games. Ty Cobb, 1911, 40 games. How about that? And then number 7 is Paul Molitor's 39-game hitting streak. 1987. You know, interesting. I was looking at some of the numbers. Jimmy Rollins had 38 in a row. Tommy Holmes, 37. Ty Cobb had a 35. So Cobb is in the top 11 twice. George Sisler got in there too. So he did it twice. 35 games. Chase Utley had a 35 gamer. Don DiMaggio, Joe DiMaggio's brother, had a 34. Benito Santiago, remember him? He had a 34 game hitting streak. Roger Hornsby's 33. Harry Heilman had a 32. Ed Delonte had 31. Looking at some of the numbers, Willie Davis, remember him from the Dodgers? 31 games. Vladimir Guerrero had a 31 gamer. Tris Speaker, 30. Look at some of the numbers. Dan Musial's high was 30. George Brett had a 30. Nomar Garciaparra. Freddie Freeman had a 30-game hitting streak. How about that? He's still playing. How about Paul Molitor? 39-game hitting streak, 1987. He had 164 hits in just 118 games. Had 41 doubles. Woo. 5 triples, 16 homers, 75 RBI. I like that. The RBI output is up. 353. That's the highest batting average he will have. Too bad he missed 42 games. He was on pace for 200 hits. 353. So that's the 4th time over 300 out of 10 years. 438 on base. I like it. 566 slugging. Listen to this. 263 total bases. So 1987, a memorable season for Paul Molitor. 39-game hitting streak. Too bad he didn't get to that 40 mark. Would have been nice to get to 50. 56-game hitting streak, Joe DiMaggio. That record will not be broken. I could put money on that one. You know, he did it in 1941. You know what it is right now? It's 2025. 80 years have passed, right? Yeah. 84 years. Nobody's come close. Pete Rose came close, 44. It's 1987. I like that year for Paul Molitor. And I was asking, when did he start to pick it up for Hall of Fame potential? This 1987 season was the turning point for Paul Molitor. Even though it was 118 games, he got 164 hits. All right, let's look at 1988 season next. Talk to you later. I'm out.